Greetings, sir and sirettes, and welcome back to Stonehearth with me, Lathrix, and of course, welcome to Alpha 17 after a very long break. So around the corner, we do have Alpha 18 about to hit. It's currently in the unstable branch over on Steam, so I feel like this is a good time to get back into the game. Alpha 17 is incredibly stable right now, at least that's what people are telling me. A lot of the problems I outlined the last time I played are apparently fixed, and overall, I think it's going to be a much more pleasant experience. That, and the simple fact I really want to get back into the game. So currently, I haven't read too many patch notes, so for the first few episodes, I'm just going to go into it like usual, and see for myself what's different. After that, when things start to get a bit more complex, when we have a few more halflings and everything else is going on, then I will go ahead and look at the patch notes fully and figure out the things which have changed, which I've most likely missed. This is just the way of learning I tend to prefer. So, with all that rambling out of the way, new game. This is the story of a brave band of settlers from Raya's children. The people of the desert learned early that to survive they needed each other, and preferably as many others they could reach. Now visitors find them generous hosts with access to goods from all over the world. This is my favourite faction and always will be. First of all, I think they look cooler. Second of all, I prefer having the... what's it called? The chisel-y guy, the guy who works with clay. The potter, I prefer having the potter to start off with, whereas this one starts off with the woodcutter. The craftsman which uses wood. The carpenter. As we can tell, today's going to be a good episode and I will not get any words mixed up at all. A society of charming, wily traders. Seeking new lands and adventure, they set off to the place with almost no clay, despite the fact I'm going to be starting off with a potter. Yep, I'm doing that. Darkmoor Forest, a location that is on normal difficulty, is sure to be an inspiring place to start anew. A daunting place to start anew. A tranquil place to start anew. And wow, look at the image change between passive and normal, that's pretty darn cool. So normal and begin. Oh yeah, I forgot we have to do this. So, we are looking for several high minds and then one or two very high body and spirit. So, you are really good already. You are okay, not very good at all actually. You have, that is good, that is bad. So no, we don't have any good soldiers. Try again. The soldiers will want high body and high spirit, and we aren't getting that. We still aren't. Well, we have one decent one, but not good enough for me. I have very high standards. I have had some terrible luck with this, but after around about 5 minutes of rolling for new citizens, I think this is the best I've got so far, and I'm willing to take a risk with it. The reason why it's risky is we only have one decent soldier. The rest are actually pretty good in terms of mind. We have 2 6s, 2 5s, a 3 and a 4, and of course, the higher the mind stat, the higher that the halflings learn, which means they simply pick up their trade faster, they can learn the new stuff faster, and will generally be more productive because of this. In terms of body and spirit, it means you have higher health and you're less likely to run away. So, lovely Marluk here will be our soldier, the rest will all be very, very good workers. So then, the Traveller's Store. What do we want to start off with? I would like a Farmer's Hoe straight away. I would like a single sword straight away, and I don't care enough about Weavers right now, but I would very much like... We could start with the gold, or we could start with a bit of extra food. You know what, I don't think it's really worth it, but I'm just going to start off with the food. So there we are, we have farmers, and we have that. Oh, but we could have a herbalist. A herbalist would mean we have potions straight away. So never mind, the food should be fine since we have the farmer, so let's go with herbalist, wooden sword, and farmer's hoe. I could go for the trapper's knife. The reason is you get to harvest small critters straight away, which also gets you some leather and everything else like that, which is good for the weaver, which is quite an early type of thing, but I feel like this might be the better idea. So let's stick with that and embark into our new world. And I actually like the look of this because I want to start off in a bit of a cove area. A little bit, not a cove, a little bit of a clearing, a bit of a cut into the rock. So I think I would like it a bit clearer, like I was saying, but I think here would be good, because I want to build a lot more this time into the mountains. It also means, look how cool this is. Oh wow though, look at this lake. If we build here in the middle, we have two very thin avenues to get out, along with this segment over here, which means protecting these two would be really easy. In fact, what we should do is protect this section and then allow the enemies through here as a bit of a kill zone, and then have this area completely spare to get in and out of. Not too sure where I want to build now. I want to build into the mountains, so we're going to be building ourselves here. Settle here. Okay, that took a weirdly long time to load in, but here we are with our glorious little bunny statue, and this, I believe, is where we actually selected this little cutout. So let's have a quick look-see at the world, just to make sure we have chosen well. So it seems like not the entire world is loaded in currently, which honestly makes a lot of sense. So we have the big pool there, so there must be some land here connecting the two sides. We have this huge mountainous stone region. We have an extra pool up here I wasn't aware was so close. We have more stone, we have more trees, and that's just about that. I did see some food, so not the worst start. Now we have got the farmer's tool, so we can instantly start gathering food, so the fact there's no food right here isn't too much of an issue. So where do we want to start our little stone village? I think we will put it in the corner here, just to be a little bit more protected. Oh dear. Well, I completely forgot we have to do this. So, a name for our little stone village. I've used several laugh variants in the not-so-distant past, so let's think about something else. I could be really unoriginal and really uninvented and simply call it something like Stone Village in another language. There we are, if I can actually spell the darn thing. Steindorf. Stone Village, I think, in German. I may have to Google that if I actually want to call it that, and now I've said it out loud, I kind of like how it sounds. Probably pronouncing it wrong. Be right back to make sure that's correct. Making my German grandparents proud. There we go, Steindorf is indeed correct. I'm not saying it's correct in pronunciation, I'm most likely butchering it, but it does mean stone village, and it sounds quite nice in my opinion. It sounds very villagey. Either way, it's now called Steindorf. We have our lovely halflings here, and I've just cut down some trees. So the very first thing that we need to do is assign our citizens different jobs. First of all, I need to find the highest mind and lowest body, and that will become our potter. I saw a 6-2. So you there, you are going to be our potter, and we have jobs which weren't available the last time I've played, so I'll have a quick look at that in just a second. Marlek, you are going to be our soldier. And then we need another good mind. You will be our farmer, since I want you to level up as fast as possible, which leaves only one more, which will be our herbalist, which we'll do in a little while, since we don't really need that just yet. Fantastic, okay. So then, the new jobs. What are the new jobs? We have engineer, we have archer, we have knight, we have cleric, and all of the others seem to be things I've seen before. Yeah, all the basics are there, fantastic. So then, we have our potter currently, which means we should really queue up some of the stuff for the potter for when we eventually get some clay, which we do need to do fairly soon. But for now, we'll put down the stockpile, leave it as all, since that'll collect everything, and then next to it, we will put down a couple of farms. In fact, we'll put down 4 farms, because I can't remember if it's 4 or 3 farms per farmer is the optimal. And honestly, I don't really care enough to look it up. So you are carrots. You can also be carrots. You, believe it or not, are carrots. And you, yes, you're carrots, because you're all fast growing and I need food as soon as possible. All working out correctly? All working out correctly. Okay then, so whilst you all do that, we'll go into the Potter's Craft menu, and I would like a Potter's Wheel for when we have some clay, and I would also like a Potter's Kiln. Ooh, potential problem. Is there going to be dirt and clay directly underneath where our grass is, just because of how high up we are? I think if I was one level higher, we would be digging down into the stone, rather. But since we're here, we should be digging down into dirt. At least, That's the theory. So let's carve out a little area over here, which will turn into a little mine shaft. Well, no, not really a mine shaft. A little set of stairs going down into the dark. Thank you very much, halflings. Ooh, an agent approaches. All ready to start a new outpost, eh? My friends, the desert, not my friends and the desert, welcomes all its children. We'll be back tomorrow to check on you, but in the meantime, your parents sent these supplies. Oh, thanks, Mum and Dad, to get you started. 2 prickly pear baskets and 1 pumpkin basket. Many thanks, Honoured Elder. Oh, that's pretty darn good. A bit of starter food. Just keep doing that one at a time so we make this lovely stair pattern. We have more than enough wood, at least for a while. Oh, apparently you can get stone from the grass. I mean, it makes sense. There are definitely rocks found in the grass and the dirt. It would make no sense otherwise. I just expected more clay. Please. Keep doing this until we're about 4 down, and then we can use the regular mine tool, which will be a lot easier. Please forgive me if I don't remember all the hotkeys straight away, so I will be manually clicking everything because, well, I've simply forgotten them. It's been a while. We are now digging out underneath the grass, which should be a lot less ugly, considering we won't be able to see what we're doing unless we're in slice mode, which I believe is like this. Yes, indeed it is. Okay. So as we can see, I'm just digging out this little section so that we can get ourselves some clay and a little bit more stone. But until then, I do want to build into the cliff itself, and I think we should have a main entrance over here and a second entrance over here, and then connect them both together. So if I do that, well, once I start digging it out, I can start planning it a little bit better. Or I could just do it like this. Never mind, I can already do it. So for now, let's just do this. And then a second entrance there. So our potter, I would like to be somewhere near this section, so do that and do a 2x2 or a 3x3. Or a 2x3. A 2x3 for each of our crafts. So we'll have the potter here, eventually we'll have the what's it called? The mason? We have the mason there, and then over here we can put down some beds. So, corridor here, and then 2 bed spaces. Okay, so that's what we're going to build. Let's get out of this mode for a second and fast forward. As soon as this area is cut, we can put down the mason stuff and then start leveling up our mason as soon as possible. No, our potter. We'll level up our potter. Yep, I'm going to get confused a lot, I feel. We could do X-ray, which looks really weird. No, I definitely prefer the slice mode. I mean, we're poor and we have no food, but we are sure happy. That's the important thing. Hello, you are selling clay wooden food. We don't really need any of that, considering we'd have to sell stuff. Though saying that, we're not going to use the gold for a long time, so you can have the gold, and I will keep our gold you just gave us for some stuff later on. How goes in here? Oh, go up a little bit. Thank you. Excellent. Our little potter section is already being completed. Now the problem is, our resource zone is going to be a bit far away, so until we can build chests or anything else like that, it's going to be a bit difficult for the potter to work efficiently. But let's just ignore that and revel in the fact we're making a little stone village within the stone itself. Because that's cool. At least it is to me, and that's the important thing really, considering I'm the one playing. You are simply here along for the ride. It's pretty much like you're a hostage, a willing hostage watching a video. I don't know where I'm going with this, and I don't want to find out. The mason's workbench and the mason's kiln are both down, and I've already started to do some orders. We are making beds, we are making doors, we are making bricks, and we are making something new, the clay pile. So this is a brand new item, I've not seen this before, and by the looks of it, you simply use it to store clay more efficiently, which is really good because the last time we played, I ended up with thousands of clay just absolutely everywhere. So condensing 18 clay into only one spot is pretty darn useful. At least that's how I believe it works. Wow, we also have a clay tunnel door. Well, we're definitely going to want that. But right now, I just want some regular doors so I can put them on the outside. So with that, continue. And hopefully we'll see our potter get to work. Once the beds are made, rather, we can also start putting them down over here. Now what we could do to make this more efficient is build an urn, which is a very small chest, basically. But I think I'm just going to wait and then start making the large urns, so that we can have them in this area. So that it doesn't have to run back and forth constantly from the stockpile. We have gold, we have copper, we have more gold, we have pretty much everything we want. And the farm is doing well. Well done to our first level. How long until you level, can we see? Now, I'm also fairly certain, let's pause time, that we have additional stats to the stats you can normally see. So let's go to our farmer. Let's go to more info. There we are. So, that's his name and everything. There's the experience, job abilities, we've just got speed up. Here we are, attributes. So beforehand, all we had is these, which are diligence, no, which are these, mind, body, and spirit. But now we have all of this. Diligence, how long this halfling can work before needing rest. Curiosity, how much this halfling enjoys new experiences. Not quite sure what that really does. Oh, increases bonus experience earned by 1 per 10. So that's very high. So I assume this all ties into this kind of stuff. Oh, I can already see it, look. All of this is mind, all of this is body, and all of this is spirit. At least that's what it looks like. And the final one, every 2 points, increases chance to craft a fine item by 1%. Oh. So I really should have had a look at these before I decided which one should do what job. And now I'm starting to think that I've put the farmer in the worst job. Unless you can get fine food. But actually, eventually he's going to be a cook. And maybe that will affect food. Actually, no, I don't think it will. I've never seen a fine pot of stew, for instance. So, maybe not. Maybe you're a bit wasted there. Muscle, every 10 muscle increases weapon damage. We have speed, which is how fast it moves, currently getting plus 10 because of its experience. Stamina, this halfling's physical endurance. Courage, how brave this halfling is in combat determines chance to flee. Willpower determines health regeneration and compassion. Determines maximum trapper pet count, increases shepherd animal happiness. Ooh, and every 10 points increases direct healing amount by 1. So, having a good spirit is actually good for trappers. Well, that's pretty interesting. Okay, so if we look at our potter in comparison, who thankfully does also have a fairly good mind stat, we can see, yeah, it's clearly bound to this. 2 for spirit, and all of these are in the 20-odd. Body, other than speed, are also in the 20-odd. And then finally we have mind, and they're all like this. So we did at least choose someone pretty good for the role. Now, I would very much like to see when you can make these. Oh, you can! You're already level 1. Fantastic. In that case, make me 6 of them after you finish with the beds. I want the beds up first. The pots are created, and I've already went ahead and placed down our beds, so at long last the halflings will get a pretty nice night's sleep on their hard clay beds. But, you know, it's better than sleeping on the floor. Kind of, I suppose, in a way. Ooh, now before we deal with the invaders, I do want to quickly change these over to wood, stone, and clay, and then nothing else. So it's all the basic resources we're mostly using in the potter's thingy-mabobber, the kiln. Hello there, little entlings. That is a lot of entlings. We really need a second sword, like, badly. I'm hoping at least the mason might be able to make better weapons and a shield, so we can at least upgrade our footman. Because already, that's a bit overwhelming. I mean, he's doing very well, but if they start adding harder enemies in this kind of number, we are pretty much doomed. Goodbye, entlings. Well, at least it's fairly easy. So, when am I going to start making the doors? I'm making the doors now, fantastic. So the doors, I believe, are 3 wide, and the reason why I've built these out here 4 wide is because I would like to build them with a bit of a hinge, which is going to be difficult, so bear with me as I try to explain what I'm about to do. So, what I want to do, First of all, to make things look a bit better for me, I want to mine out that, which will require some ladders. I'm fairly certain I will actually have to put ladders on every single one of these, though, sadly, because the halflings are a bit slow. So that it's got a nice cut-in. Now, this isn't for the door itself. This is just so it looks like there's a cut-in before we get to the door. There we are, all nice and done, and now all of you can be deleted. Got my doors. Next up, we need to go to design building, and I would like to build a hinge, just because I think this will look nice. It may end up looking terrible, I may replace it, I don't really know. Like that. I'll probably have to build ladders for them again, because they are derps. Then place door like that. So it looks like there's an artificial hinge segment. I just think that looks better. Now, I don't think I can do that on the inside, so there may be no doors on the inside until I start building tunnels only 3 wide, because they don't build particularly well indoors, well, in a cave, which is my fault really. I should have thought about that earlier. So the segment we build now is like a common section, I guess, for everyone to use, including the bedroom, which is fine. They can all sleep there as long as all they do is sleep. Everyone will be happy. I mean, what else do you do in a bedroom but sleep? Can you build up for me? Thank you. And then we'll build the hinge there, and we'll do the same on the other side as well. A trader has just came by and gave us an additional sword, so now we have 2 soldiers. They were also selling some bucklers, which means we have armoured soldiers. And in addition to all of this, I have just made my herbalist, which means I should be able to make that the herbalist's lab. So let's make that, and as soon as that's done, we'll put that down in our little cave system. There we are. So that we can start making some health potions. Now, once that ladder's gone, this section should be complete. Absolutely wonderful. So we have our first little door on its little artificial hinge, and I'm going to do the same over here as well. Door, we want you to be facing that way. There. Then the hinge will go next to you. Like that. About halfway on our net worth at least, so let's continue with this. So it turns out I have to dig 1 higher than I did last time, because I simply got it wrong, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, trying to build things like this underground is remarkably difficult, so until we start making some smaller tunnels, which are only 3 wide, this is the type of door we're going to use. Unless the other type of door I can make, which is the mine tunnel door. If I can find the darn thing, that would be wonderful. This one, maybe that has something special when it comes to building underground. I really don't know, so until then, it's just going to take some time to do anything. So, I think now is a good time to call it quits. We have both doorways finished, other than this really annoying little ladder. We have our stable food supply, we have the potter and the herbalist all set up nicely. We have this huge mine down here, which is currently collecting gold, stone and clay, and we have everything else pretty much under control. We even have 2 soldiers already defending our nation, and aren't they absolutely adorable? So everything right now, I think, is looking good. Next time, I want to do some serious work towards the new job titles, such as the cleric, the knight, the archer, and the engineer. I'm not sure how any of these work, I'm not even sure how to make them just yet, but I will make them as soon as possible. Actually, in fact, if I looked here, I could have seen how to make them. The archer requires a level 3 footman and an archer's bow at a carpenter. The knight requires a shield by a blacksmith. The cleric requires a cleric's tome by the herbalist, and the engineer is a wrench, also again by the blacksmith. So, let's have a look here. I've just made my first healing tonic, so cleric's tome. So I need a level 2 herbalist, and then to make the tome, and then the herbalist can become a cleric. I'm assuming then the cleric will just heal people without the use of potions, or perhaps use the potions more efficiently as a kind of medic. I'm not really sure, but either way, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed the video, then of course, likes, favourites, shares, comments, all that good stuff helps out me, helps out the channel, and most importantly, shows that Stonehearth is a series you wish to see continued in the future. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.